Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the EML Season 3 round Premier 2 League. My name is Anton Schenke, and tonight I'll be taking you through the action around the legendary Silverstone circuit. Usually, you see me doing commentaries in F3, in TML F3, or doing co-commentary with alongside James in EML Premier 1, but tonight I'm here replacing WR Storm. Some commitments and some circumstances that un unfortunately unfortunately they cannot have an impact on. So I'll quickly take you to the standings before we even before we start racing tonight. So in terms of standings, SXT Esports leads with 254 points ahead of TTG Esports with 227 points. BNL Racing Esports rounding off for the top 3 with 160 points. In fourth we have Esports 12 Stan with 144 points, 154 points. Then we have VRT Esports in fifth with 142 points. In sixth we have Virtual Esports with 111 points, with 54 points. Ninth is X Esports with 38 points, and 10th and last is Legacy Racing with 10 points. In terms of driver lineups, RT Bumpier and Julian represent the Team RT tonight in Red Bull. Well, they should do, but yeah, they are all both of them are in for IRT. Second in Mercedes for BNLR Esports, we have we should have Mike and Sanchovic, but as far as I can see, Sanchovic ended the reserve, who was scheduled to be replacing one of those drivers if they are not available, was Denise, but as far as I can see, Snarf, who I know from previous from my own league racing experience, on the last is driving tonight in Mercedes alongside Sanchovic. In McLaren representing the CPI, we have Bunty and Damon. Then in Aston Martin, we should have RLS Honeybatcher and Nathan Wonderberg representing the RLS Esports. In Alpine, we should have representing the current leaders, SXT. We should have Slimbo and Daniel, as they are both in as well. In Ferrari, representing the X team, we should have Yona and Forza Brendan, who are also both in. AlphaTauri only having one driver. I don't exactly see what that team is, but that's Prospects Racing, if I'm correct. Only one driver named for in AlphaTauri's drawing lineup sheet. that's Jets Coconuts who is there, and I don't know, will there be a teammate joining, or he'll be a sole representative for Prospects Racing Esports, Prospect C Racing. I'm sorry for mispronouncing the name. In Williams, we should have Colin R. Mason and Pillars representing the Esports Wales Stan. So both of those guys are in, and then in Alfa Romeo representing the TTG, we should have Carlsbury and Betuxai, who are yeah, both of them are in, and then in Haas for VAR Esports, we should have Raphael and Jet, who are both in. So only drivers that we are waiting for is RLS Esports in the Aston Martin, and possibly one AlphaTauri for Prospects E-Racing. So Silverstone Circuit is the uh, place of the is the location of tonight's racing and tonight's action. Legendary track. I don't know what can be said for this track, and that is not said already. Already. Uh, what can I say for this track, and that is not said already? Obviously, legendary track who went through couple of layout changes. The most recent one in between 2009 and 2010 British Grand Prix with removing the bridge corner, and also yeah, plays that many battles we saw many battles on this track, legendary battles, iconic moments, and hopefully our drivers will give us some good entertainment tonight as they are slowly but safely reading up. Track that the weather can play the big part in as well. Also, it can be harsh on tires from time to time due to various types of corners, and not much parts of track where you can, let's say, rest your tires, give them some rest, so they don't have that much of a breather. The track also must be said, the track that hosted the very first F1 race back in 1950. So that's also worth mentioning, as right now we have a couple of seconds before the action really starts here in Silverstone in EML Premier 2. As we have dry weather for qualifying. Good evening to everyone in the chat, and hopefully you're having a great Wednesday evening. And hopefully you'll enjoy the action here tonight as much as I will. As we have first car out on track, that's one of the Mercedes. That's Sancho is, but ahead of him we have one Haas, if I'm correct. That's VAR Jet for VAR Esports. Hopefully there won't be too much lag. For my and your own guys' sake, and if there will be, I'm sorry I cannot do anything when it comes to that. We really don't have any effect on that. I don't have an impact on that. I cannot also impact on that as the we are riding on board with Jet, as I said already. Hash driver representing the VAR Esports virtual esports racing. Who will be the first man to set a lap around the Western Circuit. As he's coming out of stove corner and going into the pits, so not starting the lap. As then behind we have, I think that still Sancho is behind him, coming out of Whale chicane now. Coming on start finish straight, starting the lap. Through Abbey, then Farm, and now through Village. Now going to loop, important to get that apex there and also to get good exit. Don't hesitate too much on power there, as it can cost you quite a lot of time. Now on the Wellington straight, braking for Brooklands, and now through the left field he comes, and now onto the start finish straight, onto the old start finish straight, through Cops, slight going down to the 7th gear. Engine uses engine braking. Now Maggots, Beckett's, and now Chapel. Don't go too wide there, as it can kill your momentum. 103.1 in the middle sector, and now coming to stop. 6th gear, then 5th, then briefly, then 6th again. Throw the car in, and now the Whale chicane. Attack those curbs, but don't attack them too much. Get a nice exit through Club, and now it's a 127.013 for Sanchovic, and that is our first lap for tonight, as Yona goes into second with 127.314. Bunty in third with 128.308. Colin R. Mason going into third for Esports Wheel Stan with 127.537. Slimbo going third for SXT with 127.421. Pumpkin in 5th with 127.595, Duxa in 6th with 127.994, Forza Brandon for X Esports in 7th with 128.019, Pillars in 8th for Esports Wheel Stan with 122.219, Bunty drops to 9th, and Snarf in 10th with 28.309, only thousandth of a second away from Bunty in P9, and then Carlsbury with no representative lap time in 11th and last place for now. As now we are riding on board with Carlsbury, who invalidated his lap time, so he won't make any progress on this particular occasion, the Finnish driver in the Alfa Romeo, representing the TTG Esports. As track became pretty quiet right now, and one of the Mercedes heading out of the pits. That is, I think Sancho is, but also Coconuts is, I think, just cruising on his way to pits. As Rafael is after the session. Third, 3 drivers are retired from the session so far. F1 Rafael and VAR Jet for virtual esports racing. Did they have a qualifying or something, or they're just trying to make the, or they're just thinking the start, or they just think starting from the back will pay off more than the starting at the front or in the middle? Can someone please let me know? Also, Julian has retired. From the session in, I think that is, oh, that's Red Bull. As I'm trying to find someone who is actually on the lap or who will start the lap pretty soon. I think that's one of the Ferraris, or that's an Alfa Romeo. I have no idea. I think that's the Mercedes of Sancho is, I think, will start the second run of flying laps right now, so let's ride on board with him. Sancho is really attacking those first few corners, missing the apex slightly into village and also into farm, but if he managed to carry slightly more speed on this on the Wellington Straight, that will be great. Now into Brooklands, and Laffield holding the tight line through there. Don't be too greedy on the power there, as it can easily spin you off, or you can easily get the truck out wide. Now it comes corner again, using the engine braking, favorizing that technique more than the just slightly lifting off in the 8th gear. Really throwing the car into the Magos Beckett and Chapel. And he's slightly down on his time, but could he make up for that in Stove 5th gear? He was holding it slightly longer there than he was on the previous lap. Little bit of a lock up. I think he got a better line through the well chicane. Now they're clubbed to the line, and he's not and he did not improve on his previous lap time. As Iona is improving on his lap time, having a bit of moment and spinning in the last corner. As soon as I go on board with him, Commander just curse striking again. It seems as Slimbo invalidated, and he goes into the pits. As Wumpy is up on his time, coming to the old start-finish straight. Wumpy really throwing the car aggressively into Maggots, Beckett and Chapel. Yeah, I know I say that also for Sancho is, but this is even more aggressive. Really not leaving any room at all into Stove corner, really holding the tight line, I would say. Not leaving any apex there. Good line through the chicane and club, and That's 3 tenths, more than 3 tenths improvement from Bumpy, putting him into second place. So really good luck from the RT driver tonight in the Red Bull, as I already mentioned a couple of times during the tonight's stream. As no one is, I think, improving or has improved on their previous lap times, so the positions remained pretty much unchanged after slightly more than 5 minutes in tonight's qualifying. I think Coconuts is finishing his second lap in this session so far. He'll get the he'll come to the line soon, and does improve by a quite some margin. The AlphaTauri driver from Prospect C Racing, and goes from 12th to 8th, pushing Carlsberry to 13th, but Carlsberry did not set a representative lap time yet, and he has invalidated once again. So Carlsberry really struggling around this track in qualifying, cannot get the lap right. Good evening to everyone in the chat. As Joy says good luck, so that's nice sportsmanship, I must admit, from Joy. And my old rival and from TTML F4 last season, well, it used to, I know if it used to be called TTML or TML F4 last season, F1 2021, I will bring Mike and also my colleague, my fellow colleague commentator from F3 last season and at some occasions this season, asking how am I? I'm doing fine, thanks for asking, Mike. How are you doing? Yeah, rivals, we're never rivals. True, that must be said. As usually I was at the back in F4 races due to me due to having poor qualifying performances and spins in the race. But oh well. Enough about that. We are not here. We are not here to listen my memories from last season and time spent in TML. We are here for racing in EML Premier 2 Season 3 Round 8 at Silverstone Circuit. Sancho is currently fastest with Bumpy in second, Diona in third, Colin R. Mason in fourth, Slimbo in fifth, Forza Brandon in sixth, Daniel in seventh, Coconuts in eighth, Bunty in ninth, 10th is Narf, 11th is Petuxai, 12th is Pillars, Carlsberry in 13th, Raphael, Vierjet and Julian did not set the time, and Damon did not set the time either. As Wumpy started his third flying lap ahead of as Slimbo meanwhile went into second place, I unfortunately missed that, but Slimbo, representing the current leader SXT, goes into second, not far away, or not too far away from Sancho is from BNLRE, from BNLR Esports. Slimbo, yeah. So Slimbo going into second with 127.187. As Colin finishes his lap time and goes in the second, 127.185 for Esports Well stand driver. I'm sure Mike will be happy with this. As Slimbo is out of the session, so he won't make any progress. I think he might have retired in the pits. As Bumke is now finishing the lap for a third time in this qualifying session, taking a really short line, slight improvement, stays fourth. Jona up on his time. Coming now into the rail chicane, really trying the car into that second part. Going to the line, Jona, pole position for Jona for representing the X Esports. Jona out of nowhere, taking the first place for now, 126.9. What a lap from Jona. Jona, I think he'll end up taking pole position at the end. No one really seemed to be improving enough to make a threat to Ferrari driver as Daniel misses the apex of Maggots by a country mile. As Sancho takes the pole position back from Jona, 126.816. Things are really kicking off here. If no one really has improved there, Cowsbury goes into sixth. With the 127.281. So Cowsbury at last managed to put a lap in, representative lap in around this track tonight. Really seem to be struggling at certain points, as Mike in the chat saying BNLR Esports Rails versus IRT is a tasty scrap for third, and gives me the update on the points. And yeah, seems like 2010 championship battle ahead of Brazil, to be honest. But anyways, that's it for qualifying, and I'll give you the standings as I get the leaderboard, and that is right now. So Sancho takes pole position with 126.816, 10th ahead of Jona, and 3/10 ahead of Colin, who is only thousandth of a second ahead of Slimbo in the fourth. 5th is Bumpier, 6th is Cowsbury, 7th is Snarf, 8th is Forza Brandon, 9th is Daniel, just Coconuts rounding off the top 10. Bunty in 11th, Pillars in 12th, Betuxai in 13th, Damon in 14th, Raphael in 15th, VRJet in 16th, Julian in 17th, and the last place for tonight. So qualifying over, but action is definitely not over for tonight, as prepare for, to see I think it will be around 28 laps of a mayhem around the Silverstone circuit, in EML Premier 2. As skies look cloudy, could we potentially see a mixed conditions race here at the EML Premier 2 tonight, as also Mike saying he's not happy with Colin getting second. Disgraceful and says that my behavior is disgraceful, as my end also gives me, and right now gives me update on weather. No rain, dry race. So thanks for the update, Mike, as we have a couple of seconds of standstill before allowing our drivers to get their setups and strategies ready. No formation lap, I think, here tonight. 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights are on. They're off and we are racing here at Silverstone. Good start from Sanchovic, but Yona getting in, better start. Everyone on hard touch. Yona taking the inside of Abby and taking the lead already on the way to farm and village. Now coming into loop, Yona already opening up. So Yona already taking the lead. Ahead of Sanchovic and creating the slight gap as we have yellow flag behind. That's Red Bull spun round. That's Bumpier. And that's Coco. That's also dropping back. So Yona in first, Sanchovic in second, Slimbo in third, Colin in fourth, Kalsper in fifth, Starp in sixth, Porta Brendan in seventh, Daniel in eighth, Pillars in ninth, Bunty in 10th, the Tuxai in 11th place. As we have a... Is that a spinner or car really going wide? Pillars, really weird mistake, going into the Cops corner, dropping all the way back to P14. Daniel in 15th. Does Pillars have a front wing damage or something? Because he's going really slowly. That's weird. Bumpy in 16th and Coconuts in 17th. Yona trying to check out already at the front. 7/10 of a second ahead of Sanchovic, who really made a decent start, I will say, but compared to Yona, he looked like I don't know, Lewis Hamilton at the beginning of 2016 season, when he really had some appalling starts. As Yona already 1 second away from Sanchovic breaking the DRS. Sanchovic will have to look more in his mirrors than ahead, because Slimbo is closing in on him, but behind we have also very close battles that Rafael is closing in on the Tuxai for 9th. As Mike gives me update on Pillars, the Pillars got wing damage, so that was the reason why he was so slow. So my let's say prediction, should I say that way, was right, as Forza Brandon becomes first driver with a time penalty of 3 seconds. Currently sitting in 7th place, the Ferrari driver representing the Esports team. As Rafael is closing in on the Tuxai for 9th, but cannot find a way to get past him, as Damon pits for a front wing change, I assume. as field is spreading out quite a lot. As now we are the DRS is enabled now. And Sancho is closing in on Jonas slightly, but still has a lot of ground to make to catch the Ferrari driver ahead of him. Sancho is setting the fastest lap, so really picking up his pace, dropping Slimbo away from his DRS range, but again he sits on the very tight edge of Jonas' DRS as well. So field is really starting to spread out. Really, there's no quite big action on the track at the moment. Big action unfolding, following the drivers ahead, and yeah, all sitting calmly in the DRS train, all chilling in the DRS train. So when it comes to our strategies, I think one stop is possible around here, especially when some people are on hard, as most of our grid is everyone apart from Carlsberry, not Carlsberry, Colin R. Mason, F1 Rafael, Julian, Just Coconuts, and Damon, who recently pitted for mediums, are on hards, as Rafael and Jet overtake Julian, who spun round. Julian spun around. Also, I think there wasn't a move with that, but I know. Was Daniel involved? Well, but anyways, Rafael now closing in on the Tuxai, who is closing in on Bunty. So it's really turning the DRS right now. But let's go back to the leading group, as Sancho is catching Yona more and more, getting really awful exit out of Magos Beckett's Chapel complex, at least from my point of view. As Forza Brandon is closing in on Snarf, goes down the inside of Stove and gets the move done. So Forza Brandon up in 6 for for X Esports, as Snarf tries that stupid dive bomb and spins Brendan round. Snarf really going for the gap that was not going to work, as the Yona now picks up a 3-second time penalty. First car on track, second one to get one of the first ones to get a time penalty, as time penalty started to fly in left, right, and center, with just Coconuts also picking up the 3-second time penalty. Behind in 10th, Bunty closing in on Brandon, but also Jet trying to make a move around the outside of Brooklands into Laffield. Jet makes the move done, as also meanwhile Rafael overtook Betuxai, and now he's closing in on Sharp. So Virtual Esports racing drivers are really flying on the track out at the moment. Snarf getting I think taking the not the ideal line through the Magos and Beckett near the chapel, as Rafael dives down the inside. takes 6th place, but did Snarf learn a lesson from previous lap he did, and he doesn't try to make some stupid move that can ruin his and his team race, or ruin the race from a driver of someone else's team. So Snarf in 7th, Raphael in 6th. As 20 pits and Julian pits, I think they picked up some damage perhaps. Fiona is once again pulling away from Sanchowitz slightly. Behind them Betuxai and Snarf round the outside window cops. Really nice move from Betuxai. Getting 7th place as Snarf tries to have a look down the inside, going into Maggots, but doesn't do it. There is I thought Calvary overtook Colin for a second, but that could be just leaderboard messing around on my side. As we have a yellow flag, that's McLaren spinning. I think that's Damon. Yeah, yellow flag in sector 1, someone spun around, that's the Ferrari of Brendan going really wide. Having some off-road excursions. As Yona maybe did a mistake because Sanctuary is the closest he's ever been to the Ferrari driver ahead. And behind Betuxai is once again closing in on Raphael. He's not closing in, but he's just following Raphael. At the moment sitting calmly behind him, allowing the Virtual Esports representative, Virtual Esports Racing representative to pull him along, potentially get to Calsbury in 5th place, although the gap is more than 5 seconds at the moment. Calsbury, who is closing in on Colin R. Mason ahead, who is dropping back slightly from Slimbo. As Damon becomes another lucky winner of 3-second time penalty. Damon sitting in last place, so really awful race for CPI representative. Nothing seeming to really work for him this evening, as Sancho is once again dropped to 7, from 7 to 8 and so on, to Yon ahead. As we have a first pit stop that is not for damage, and that is Colin from Esports Wales doing 10 laps on the mediums. And going for the hard tires until the end, I will assume. Trying to do the undercut on the guys ahead of him. Get some control in on Daniel ahead. That's the first stop of the race so far with 1.3. Trying to at some point. Sorry for missing that. I don't know what happened there. As we have Alpine going very slowly. Also McLaren spinning, and Daniel as in the first corner. But I don't know what happened there with the leaders. I allowed Sancho to close in on Yon and go ahead. Sorry for missing that. As Yona is now owning the back of that Mercedes car, trying to get the lead back. As Sancho is pulsing the pits, Yona doing the opposite and staying out. Also Carlsberg pitting as Damon is out of the session, but he returned into the pits, so there won't be any consequences and interference in the race, as Fontin now picks up the racing and time penalty. Sancho with Slimbo, Carlsberg and Raphael pitted. I'm surprised to see Carlsberg and Sancho is in the pits. Especially Sancho was leading at the point at the point he pitted, and had Cleaner ahead of him. and also he was on hard tires, which should be more durable than medium tires. So I'm surprised that he didn't try to start that stint out, but as Yona got a 5 second time of the pursuing the pit lane, Yona pitting now, and that could really make an impact on his race. So let's see what will happen. Yona opting for medium tires. The Tuxai stays out. After second, the Cavill flag. The flag 2 and 3. Someone's spinning in Magus brackets. Bunte. Really race to forget for CPA, guys, as Yona comes behind his teammate Forza Brandon, and still ahead of Sancho is so Yona managed to get done quite a massive overcut to on the GNLR Esports driver. The Bunty is out of the section and pits. As Yona is now trying to hit up the tires, Bunty with tires already heated up on his, not Bunty, Sancho is with the tires already heated up on his Mercedes. Hounds that, hounds back of the Ferrari ahead of him. The Hunter now became the target. The Tuxai pits as well from first place now. Snarf also pits. We are checked likewise. Brandon stays out. I'm interested to see where Tuxai will come out in all of this. Quick stop from the Alfa Romeo drivers. He's definitely coming out behind all of the members of the leading pack, as Alperi meanwhile jumped Colin Mason during some point of the race. So Carlsbury now in 6th, and Yona once again losing 2 positions now. Slimbo and Sanchez. Slimbo making a move down the inside of Brooklyn, and Sanchez makes the moves. But I really, as soon as I move from those guys, it seems that overtake or something happens. As once again I missed Yona not losing 1 position for the lead, but losing 2 positions as well. They are lap 15 of the decides to pit. I'll assume Forza Brandon will do the same, as they are one of the last hard runners apart from Pillars who had to pit very early in this race because of the damage on his car. So Slimbo now leads ahead of Sanchez and Yona. Carlsbury in 4th, Colin R. Mason in 5th, Letuxa in 6th, Rafael in 7th, Pompier coming out in 8th place, Dennis Narf in 9th, Jet in 10th, and so we have a yellow flag, and that is Daniel, I think. Coconuts in 11th, Brandon in 12th, Julian in 13th, pillars in 14th, and Daniel, yeah, I think that was Daniel spinning out of stove in the last place at the moment. Yellow flag, and that is, I think, Daniel spinning once again. Really, for the another SXC representative for in tonight's race, as Slimbo is maintaining the gap. And his lead safe for the Sanchez, as Yona is now closing in on the Mercedes driver once again. To working together to run away from Calvary in the fourth. It seems like Calvary doesn't seem to doesn't seem to have pace to follow those guys ahead, and he's literally no man's land. That he goes really wide into the cops corner. Must be a warning. So yeah, as I said, Calgary no man's land, same as Colin R. Mason, and the top side, sorry, Fielder is running out quite a lot. As apart from the lead, as in the leading group, Yona is closing in on Sanchovic. Really close. The Mercedes driver once again will feature make a move going into the Brooklands. Brendan spinning the fastest lap and tries to make a move, but doesn't make it stick. Now we are not 18 out of 26. We are at EML Premier 2 Season 3 of Esports Masters League. Round 8 of Continental Championship. As we watch Sancho is taking the lead from Slimbo. Dusko going really close to each other on the exit of stop. Slimbo makes a dive, gets the car stopped in time, and doesn't make contact with any of those guys. Yona watching this definitely and laughing in his helmet, I would say, with these two guys fighting so hard on the track, what will allow him to take the win. Not win, to take the lead of the race if those two will make contact. As now Slimbo got a good run out of loop and onto the Wellington straight, but Sanchovic defends his lead for now. Daniel says the fastest lap. So there's also pitting for stops and going for the fastest lap, I will assume. as the three guys are in class of their own with 6 laps to go. Who will win the race and who will the podium, and the winner will be decided between those three. Those three that will dictate the tempo of this race. Not the tempo of this race, the finishing order of this race. As now Jona getting really close onto the braking for Brooklands to Slimbo ahead. Those guys 4 seconds ahead of Calvary in the 4th. So there's frightening difference in the race pace in these later stages of the race. Really good trying from these guys in the place. Amazing driving, but yeah, amazing driving for every single one of those guys in the for most of the guys racing tonight. But obviously the top 3 guys stand out here a little bit more. Now on lap 21. But now Jona makes a move around the outside, tries to make a move around the outside of Brooklyn. It's going to left field. Slimbo shuts the door, but Jona sticking his nose to the inside. Slimbo defends his position. There's the first lap. Jona makes a dummy move outside, then inside of stove. Takes the inside line. Slimbo is still on the outside. But Jona brakes later and takes the position out of oil chicane and out of club. Now he's way to chase Sanchovic. Now with the racing and time penalty at the moment, as things stand, he'll finish on the podium. 4 laps to go, but I think the Ferrari driver wants to gain more from this race, but it'll be tough for him to pull away from Slimbo in 3rd place. As there's a spinner in the background. Snarf spins from 12 from technically he was in 9th or 10th. Ray joins in 13th and now does really nice pirouettes. Here, but we don't have points for that, I'm afraid. But yeah, Filler said the fastest lap in the race so far, so yeah, Sancho is leading from Jona, Slimbo, Calvary, Colin R. Mason. The Duke side was coming under the pressure from Rafael. Probably not safely. Rafael is within one stage of the top side. As now Yona is catching Sanchez once again. Slimbo, I think, having a little bit of slide going in the loop corner. That will cost him really some time, especially because the edge of that corner is really important to give you a good slingshot onto the Wellington straight. As behind Colin Mason is catching Halsbury for 4th place, and also behind them we have Rafael chasing Batuksai, but Bumpy, Bumpy is a little bit too far away from those guys, so the gap wrong as Yona gets the Sanchez for the lead. With 2 laps to go, will Yona manage to pull 3 seconds in spare of 2 laps? I don't think that is possible, no matter how good his pace was tonight. But I think podium is definitely here on the cards for the X-Team, so that's a really good result. So, back in 12 we have Julian closing in on Just Coconuts, and Rafael closing in on the Tuk side. Also had Colin Mason closing in on Halsbury in 4th. Mike cheering on Colin at this moment. As Calvert does a terrible mistake out of Marcus Beckenchapel. This is just inviting Colin to try and make a move and get through round the outside of Stowe. Holds the line, holds the car inside of track limits and gets the move done. Really nice move from Colin. Well, if we take out the fact that Calsbury really opened the door for him with that horrible mistake, and Colin just said thank you very much, kind sir. As right now Yona is checking out and trying and pulling away from Slimbo and Sanchez. Slimbo, who actually has, I didn't check penalties for the entire race. Yona with 8 seconds of time penalties. Of course, that spinning penalty was also there. Forza Brandon on 3 seconds of time penalties. Coconuts on 6, and Julian with 3 seconds of penalties, and Daniel on 8 seconds of time penalties. As we are coming to conclusion of this race, here at the EML Premier 2 round season 3 of Esports Masters League, round 8, with Yona taking the victory on track, but getting demoted to to second, and then third for Colin, fourth for Carlsberry, fifth for Bertuxai, fifth for Bertuxai. So really good result from TTG drivers. Sixth is Slimbo, seventh is Rafael, eighth is Bumpier, ninth is Jet, 10th is Brendan, 11th is Coconut, getting quickly jumped by Julian, 13th is Narf, 12th is Narf, overtaking that Coconut, Daniel in 14th, and Pillars in 15th place. Someone got a puncture. Was it Slimbo or someone? Sorry for not noticing that, but in my defense, I can't really notice anything crucial for the race. I think tonight. But anyways, I think it is something once again we will get official results from the game at least. Because I'm sure there will be certainly some work for stewards, but in a couple of seconds you'll get to see your winner for tonight, and there he is, Sancho from PNLR Esports, driving a Mercedes. Taking the victory here at Silverstone tonight. Second is Iona, third is Colin. And once again, here are the results from tonight. Sancho is taking the win ahead of Iona, Colin R. Mason, Carlsberry, Bertuxai, Slimbo, Rafael, Bumpier, Jet, Brandon, Julian, Snarf, Just Coconuts, and Daniel and Pillars, with Bunty and Damon, CPI boys, not finishing the race. So that's it for the action tonight here at the EML Premier 2 League, round 8 of Season 3 Championship around Silverstone Circuit. Yeah, hopefully you enjoyed the action tonight, and in my commentary, for me, I don't know to who I will give driver of the day, but it's really tough choice, and I think I'll leave that to you guys in the chat. Put your candidates in the comments. From my side, I think I'll give it to I'll give it to Colin, who, and no, that's not because I'm good friends with Mike, but it's because he had, let's say, some quiet performance tonight, but still got podium at the end, and he got a good result for his team. As Luke just joins the party, but sorry Luke, good evening Luke, but sorry you're late. I don't know, at least as far as I can see, but hopefully you enjoyed the action here tonight. My name is Ryan Donchik. This was the EML Premier 2 round 8 of Season 3 of Esports Masters League. Until next time, from me, it's goodbye.